Welcome everybody back to Real Talk. We have the lovely Renee Kam joining us, who is one of our experts regarding real estate, selling homes, and being able to help people find places to live. So just want to welcome you, Renee, to our show.
Yeah, thanks so much, Alan.
Yeah.
So great to be here.
Definitely. We have a super interesting topic today when it comes to lotteries, especially regarding new developments, right? Lottery systems, you know, I'm going to let you explain more of the, from the expert side, but yeah, what is, like when you look at ways in which you can purchase homes, there's different kind of, I don't know if this is the right term, but like maybe entry points or whatnot. But then there's certain developments where you actually have to go through this lottery system. What is a lottery? What is that all about?
Exactly.
Am I going to win money?
Yeah, I know. Yes. You're going to win a prize.
I hope so.
A home. That's so. Lotteries. Why would number one someone choose to go to a lottery system versus just going straight to a seller and putting an offer on the home, right? So the lottery, right, just like it's not a chance, but it's no guarantee that you're gonna get a home, right? So there are projects on Oahu that offer a lottery system. Some in particular out in ʻEwa, there's two. Opili is a really big example of a master plan community, that the way you're going to purchase a home in that master plan community is through a lottery system. And then Northpark is also another one out in ʻEwa. So just two examples, but the lottery system is because number one, I think the biggest thing we need to understand in Hawaii, there is a housing shortage.
Absolutely, yes.
Right? Inventory and demand, big difference. And so these new developments is where you'll find the lottery system.
Yeah, and then, like when I think about even just the word lottery in itself, right? I'm thinking, okay, well, it sounds like most people would have an opportunity to submit or to put their names in to be able to quote unquote win something or to be able to get a number, right? And then how do people get chosen from this lottery? Is it completely random? Is there some computerization system?
Good question.
Is there somebody actually drawing like a ball?
I want to say yes. For the most part, there is. So for example, I had a client that went through the lottery at Northpark. So Northpark is a new development out in ʻEwa. They do single-family homes, beautiful single-family homes. We went there because the housing market in Hawaii has been a little bit crazy.
It's been competitive.
Right? Very competitive, where you have multiple offer situations and buyers are having to put money put offers in way above listing pricing. So I had a client that came here. Actually, they were a mainland buyer, this one particular client, and they wanted to purchase a home in Hawaii, move to Hawaii. And so what happened was we were looking all over, couldn't find a place, but here we were at Northpark. So the whole process is you have to, number one, qualify. So based on the home prices, the home prices out there are about mid-800,000s. You have to make sure that you go to a lender and you're able to qualify. So most new developments, they have, number one, you have to be pre-qualified. Once you do that, you have to, number two, you have to be owner-occupied. Right? You're going to live into at least the first year. Right? And then after you get pre-qualified, you fill out their application. So the application is super simple for most lottery. You just, number one, if it's there's two types of lottery. There's market and there's affordable. For the market prices, that means it's at, the rate that it is valued. Affordables are below market price. So there are two types of lotteries for those two different types of home. But the system in itself is the same. Right? You get pre-qualified, number one, make sure that you can pay for the mortgage. And then number two, you fill out an application.
I just love the way that you're breaking down just the step-by-step process of like what it means to actually enter a lottery, and then does that even mean that once you've entered it and God, just pray to God that you've been chosen, right, for one of the spots. Does that mean that you get the home, or are you completely sold? Like, are you at the stage where it's yours, or are there still some steps that fall after that?
So actually, let's go back. There's actually a key step. So, right, you foresee that you want to enter the lottery. Okay, so once you know that, there's actually an announcement that is made first.
Yes.
So you have to stay tuned.
Yeah.
You get ready. You're like, here we go, pre-qualified. You got the application. You're ready. But once the announcement is made, so they do it two ways, right? You, of course, any lottery, you're going to put your name and say, hey, I'm interested in the lottery. Once the announcement is made two ways, via email, you'll get sent an announcement, and they also have to put it on public record. They put it on their website, even in the newspaper, right? But once that announcement is made, they will tell you you have a deadline. So they'll usually give you a week or two.
You have like a little window, right?
You have a little window. So if you haven't gotten pre-qualified, you have time, but you want to have submit your application with your pre-qualification letter, and some people you have to notarize an affidavit that basically you're promising that you're going to live. Once you meet that deadline, it's usually 3 o'clock on a certain day, now you're in the lottery. So what they'll do from there is say, okay, this is the deadline. 2 or 3 days later is the actual lottery drawing. So the lottery that day, they put all the applicants that have submitted their application. Some old school. They put in a little bowl and like a bingo machine.
That's actually how one of mine was, where they actually had the full. I don't know what that contraption is, right? But it just seemed like it was a little bit dated, but I guess it was a way to kind of randomize all the different applicants and make it fair to everybody too.
And that's the biggest thing. I think it's fair, right? If they computer generate it, I don't think
somebody might be able to rig it.
Right. So, but literally, out of an app, like say 100 applicants turn in, and there's only 25 homes. That's probably not reality. It's usually 10 homes available. 100 or 200 applicants is more realistic.
They keep the supply super low, but the demand absolutely high.
Exactly. So as long as you turn in your application by that certain date, you will get a number. So out of 200 applications, every single applicant will get a number. So 1 through 200, right? And if you are number 1, then woohoo!
Oh my gosh.
They're gonna call you up. They're gonna call you up. Usually right after the lottery, so they pull numbers, right? Everybody gets a number, and they reach out to the first batch, maybe of 20, 30, and then they say, okay, you you got number 1, you come in, you have to be usually ready. You
got to be ready to go,
You got to be ready. You got to be ready to take their phone call. Then you got to be ready to go in for that scheduled appointment and select. Because out of the 10 homes that are available, you hopefully you qualify for the amount. Otherwise, you will choose, and then it's 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms. It's what's available, and you either choose. If not, you bypass, and it goes to the next person, the next number.
I mean, I remember when we were we entered the Coral Ridge lottery 3 times, right?
3 times.
And then the first few times, I had put, I was so emotionally invested, and then even to the point where we got a printout of just the layout of all the available spaces, and we just started numbering. Where if we get number 1, if we don't get that one, this and this, then it we kind of prioritized which plans and what was available, like what was affordable for us. So that in the event that we were able to get our number, that we were just ready to go, right?
And that's a good thing you brought that up, because that's another process. So they also, you have to submit with your application. They give you a preference sheet, and you say this is first choice, second choice. So they give you all the homes that are available, and then based on your, the size of the home you want, you're going to start listing that as first, second, third choice, and you have to submit that with your application.
Absolutely. Well, when I think about the lottery system, it's more the new developments that are implementing this, just to make things fair for potential buyers or whatnot. But like, what is the difference between like, why would they, why the lottery system, right? Why would a new development implement this system versus just kind of doing it more the traditional way of people being able to say, no, I want to buy the house for this price, and like kind of getting into pricing wars or whatnot.
That's a really good point, because I mean, literally, if you think about it, when you go, there's existing sales, and then there's new development sales.
Sure.
In the existing sales, we've seen it, right? We've seen the prices go up. So I mean, bottom line is, we want to keep, or these new developments want to keep prices at an affordable price. I mean, they're still at market price.
Definitely still competitive, right?
Still very competitive, but now you're not competing in a sense where if they didn't do lottery, right? You've got people say, okay, I'm going to pay $800,000. No, I'm going to pay $850,000. No, I'm going to get paid $900,000.
Oh my gosh!
So now you're going to see those prices just elevate.
Yeah, especially in our most recent market conditions, right, where people were just willing to pay way over asking prices.
They are. So this is really these new developments are great because it gives our Hawaii people an opportunity to buy and it to be within their reach. And so my clients that I've helped last year, right, in the market environment last year, I mean, we put in over a dozen offers, and all those dozen offers, they got beat out. But when we switched gears and we went to opili, it took a couple lotteries, but they got it. Right? And it was like winning
literally winning the lottery, right?
Literally. And so the other thing about these new developments too, you go in, right? You win the lottery, right? Let's say you win the lottery.
You win the lottery.
You get selected. You get to choose a unit. You bring in your initial deposit, right? And then from there, it takes 6 months for the unit to be completed. But a lot of these new developments, 6 months is actually really short compared to some of the new developments in Ward Village, for example. 3 years.
Few years just to see the build outs, right? Yeah.
But at the time that you go ahead and make your initial deposit and secure your reservation and say, yes, I'm going to buy, there's a span of time that actually equity, it just didn't pass. I'm not saying it's always going to be like this in the future.
Sure.
But historically, by the time you move into that property, it's worth more than you initially.
It's the value of real estate just doing its thing, right? In Hawaii.
Exactly. You must have experienced that.
Yeah, I mean, I was telling you the story of, I think we bought around like in the low 7s. And then when the next phase of the exact same model came out, it was already in the 800s, right? And we're like, wait, we didn't even do anything. Like all we did was just, by God's grace, we like got our place in the lottery, but we just waited. And because they kept that's what I love about these lotteries, is that they keep the demand so high, and that's how they're able to keep the prices super competitive. And so people that get in, they're getting the most out of their what they're investing into, right?
Yeah, and so the good thing about the lottery is whether a person is at, because they have lotteries for studios, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms. I think the biggest thing is what I like to communicate to our local people, or our young people, or even our older people that are still renting, is this is a way you can own. Yeah, you should own. Just start somewhere, right? And even though it's not guaranteed, it gives you the time, or an individual the time to be ready.
Yeah.
Right? Get yourself ready. Pre-qualification is going to be that very first step. Make sure you have some money saved. But when the opportunity does, the door opens.
Oh my gosh, yeah. You're
ready.
You're ready to go,
Right?
Yeah.
So whether it's a studio for $300,000 or 2-bedroom for $500, or or a home, a single family home at $700,000-800,000 upwards now. More than that. But it's owning a piece of the land, owning, being a homeowner.
Yeah.
Right? Just a way to get started, get in the game.
Doesn't have to be your forever home or your dream home, but just to be able to, like you said, get in the game so that you can have your money invested into something that's building equity and prepare you for the next one, right?
Yeah. And one thing I do want to also share with our viewers is there are opportunities where I have been a part of where there was more inventory that there were applicants.
Yeah.
And so if you are ready, or getting ready, I think the biggest thing is just making that decision that yes, I'm going to go for home ownership. Because when you make that decision here first, then things start happening. But there are opportunities where there have been more units or more units, homes,
availability, right?
Townhomes, right? Available versus the applicants.
Sure.
So there's opportunities today that I can tell you people could bypass the lottery, right? Affordables, Ulana at Ward Village right now, or some other in the past. So I'm just saying there are opportunities with the lottery system to own a home.
Yeah, I mean, the advice I usually give people, if I hear of like a lottery coming up and somebody's just thinking about it, I'm like, you know what, just put in an application, right? It's free, like you're not committed until like you've gone through like the final stages, and you can always pull out, but at least get in. And then but like just to have that spot, it's precious, right? It gives you options. It gives you options. Yeah.
It does. And I think it's just a great way to move towards home ownership.
Absolutely. Renee, thank you so much just for your expert input regarding just the lottery system in Hawaii. And again, if it comes to, whether it's Opili or maybe it's Northpark, there's just so many new developments that are coming up in Hawaii right now. And if you're interested in getting into one of these lotteries, please contact Renee and she'll help you get into your next new home. And so that's all the time that we have for today on Real Talk. And thank you again, Renee, for just having us. And
appreciate it.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys next time.
Okay, aloha.
Mahalo everybody for tuning in to this episode of Real Talk. Hungry for more? Well, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get updated for our next episode of Real Talk. We'll see you guys next time.